Okay, picture this. You wake up, but it's not your alarm clock. It's this awful gurgling sound.
Oh,
Yeah, and you realize your basement is, like, filling up with water, a burst pipe, nightmare scenario.
the absolute worst. Or maybe it's quieter, that slow drip you don't even notice.
Exactly. Behind the wall, maybe. Silently rotting everything, mold growing.
Yeah.
And then, bam, the water bill arrives. Or worse, the floor collapses.
Water damage is just incredibly destructive and so fast sometimes.
It really is. But what if you could have, I don't know, a sort of digital guard on duty?
A guard against the gush.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings us to today's deep dive. Smart water leak detectors.
The unsung heroes.
Oh, we're talking about them not just as cool tech gadgets, but as, well, pretty essential tools now for preventing huge messes and saving water.
That's spot on. And our mission today is really to unpack this whole world. It's evolving so quickly.
Right.
We want to look at, what they actually are, why they're suddenly everywhere, who's making them, the tricky bits, the challenges, and of course, where this tech is heading next.
And we should mention, our guide for this is a pretty solid report from Cognitive Market Research. Came out Feb 2025, updated just this June, so it's really current.
Very fresh data, yeah.
Okay, so let's start at square one. Smart water leak detectors. What are we really talking about? What makes them smart?
So at their heart, they're using advanced sensors, but the key is the IoT connection, the Internet of Things part.
Right.
This means they don't just, beep in the basement or maybe no one hears them. They actively monitor in real time.
And send alerts.
Exactly.
Wow.
Straight to your phone or your building management system, whatever's connected. The whole idea is speed, giving you that crucial heads up.
So you can jump on it before a small leak becomes a swimming pool in the living room.
Precisely. It's about swift action, minimizing damage.
Okay, so that's the immediate benefit, the damage control. But what's the bigger picture? Why the surge in interest now?
Well, it's tied into a few big trends. Obviously, managing water waste is huge now. Sustainability concerns, water conservation. It's on everyone's mind. Then there's the whole smart home boom. People are automating everything else. Why not water safety?
Makes sense.
And interestingly, extreme weather, more floods, more pipe bursting freezes in weird places, it pushes people towards wanting more resilient homes and buildings.
So it's a mix of environmental awareness, tech trends, and even climate adaptation, really.
You got it. And they're not just standalone gizmos anymore.
Right, you mentioned integration.
Yeah, increasingly they're part of larger building management systems. Think commercial buildings, industrial sites. It's moving towards a really proactive stance on water.
Okay, proactive sounds good. But let's talk scale. You said they're everywhere, gaining traction. How much traction are we actually seeing? Are the numbers big?
Oh, the numbers are definitely significant. According to that Cognitive Market Research report, the global market was valued around USD $1,452.6 million in 2024.
1.4, $5 billion. Okay, that's not small change.
Not at all. It shows there's real demand already, a solid base.
And the future. What's the growth looking like?
The projection is pretty strong. They're expecting it to hit about USD $2,315.2 million by 2032.
Wow, okay.
That works out to a compound annual growth rate, a CGR, of 6.00%.
6% CAGR. Now, for folks listening who follow market trends, is that just steady, predictable growth, or is there something more dynamic hidden in that 6%?
That's a great question. I mean, 6% sounds steady, right? But the drivers behind it are pretty dynamic. You've got the smart home adoption just accelerating like crazy.
Right, that's not slowing down.
Not at all. Plus, people are just much more aware of water conservation now, and businesses too. Then there's demand across all sectors, residential, commercial, industrial. Everyone wants better leak detection.
And regulations, do they play a part?
Oh, absolutely. You're seeing tighter standards around water management popping up, sometimes mandating better leak detection. So that forces adoption in places where maybe it wasn't top of mind before.
Got it. So the 6% growth is kind of fueled by these bigger shifts in tech, awareness, and policy.
Exactly. It's consistent growth, but built on some powerful undercurrents.
Okay, so with this growth happening, where are these devices actually taking off the most? Geographically speaking, what did the 2024 data show?
Well, North America is leading the pack, had about 40% of the market share in 2024.
40%. Why so dominant there?
It's partly the tech infrastructure, sure, but also North America just tends to adopt smart home tech earlier and more widely. It's often the proving ground.
Okay. And Europe, usually strong on the green initiatives.
Yep, Europe's a strong second,
Huh?
around 30% market share. And you nailed it. Their focus on sustainability, environmental responsibility, that's a huge driver there. Conserving water is a big motivator.
Right. Okay. North America 40, Europe 30. That leaves the rest of the world. What about Asia Pacific? That's often where we see explosive growth.
And that's exactly what the report predicts. They held about 20% in 2024, but
And the growth rate is higher.
significantly higher. Projected at an 8% CAGR, that's the fastest growth region.
8%. Wow. What's fueling that?
Think rapid urbanization, especially in places like China and India. Plus, a growing, very real awareness of water scarcity issues there.
Mm-hmm.
And combine that with the general rise of smart technology adoption. It's a powerful mix. It's less about convenience sometimes and more about necessity.
A real need driving the market.
Okay, fascinating regional picture. Now, who are the big fish in this pond? Who's leading the charge?
It's definitely a competitive space, but there are some clear leaders. Honeywell International is out front with about 15% market share in 2024.
Okay, Honeywell, big name.
Then you have Siemens Industry, close behind at 13%, and 3M holding around 10%.
Household names, really. Giants with deep pockets for R&D, I imagine.
Exactly. And that's key to how they stay on top.
Mm-hmm.
Constant investment in research and development, pushing the tech forward.
Is it just about building a better sensor, though? Or is there more strategy involved? Oh, there's definitely more strategy. You see a lot of strategic moves, mergers, acquisitions, partnerships.
Ah, okay. Buying up tech or market access.
Precisely. It's a way to quickly expand their product lines, grab new technology, or get into new regions fast. It's not just organic growth.
And you expect this competitive dance to continue, maybe even heat up.
For sure. The report suggests it'll get even more dynamic by 2025, especially with new players likely jumping in, particularly eyeing that fast-growing Asia-Pacific market.
Makes sense.
Ben.
Okay, let's circle back to the tech itself. What gives these smart detectors their edge? Why are they winning out over, say, just a basic puddle alarm?
It boils down to a few things. High efficiency, obviously, the real-time monitoring we talked about,
Mm-hmm.
and crucially, that seamless integration potential with other smart home stuff. That whole package gives them a massive advantage over older methods.
Which might just, beep locally? If they even work.
Right. Or maybe they trigger something, but you don't know until you get home. The smart ones give you instant remote knowledge and control.
Can you quantify that dominance? You mentioned market share earlier, but in the broader water tech space.
Yeah, it's pretty telling. As of 2024, smart detectors held about 40% of the overall water management technology market.
40%. How does that compare to the others?
Well, traditional electronic leak sensors were around 30%, and the older mechanical water flow sensors were about 20%. So 40% is a clear preference shift.
And people prefer them because of...
Those advanced features, the IoT connectivity, the mobile apps, knowing what's happening even if you're miles away, and increasingly the automated shutoff valves.
Ah, the shutoff valve. That seems like a killer feature. It doesn't just tell you there's a leak, it stops it.
Exactly. That's a huge selling point. It turns a notification into active prevention, even if you can't react immediately yourself.
And is that 40% share likely to grow? Are they cementing their lead?
Yeah, the expectation is steady growth there, too, projected to reach 42% market share by 2025. It just shows this increasing reliance on smart tech for these kinds of problems. It's moving from nice to have to, well, pretty essential for a lot of people and businesses.
Okay, but no technology is perfect,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Every rose has its thorns. Every superhero has kryptonite.
Yeah.
What are the hurdles, the challenges facing these smart detectors?
That's a really important point. And one big one is environmental sensitivity,
Meaning?
meaning things like temperature swings, humidity levels, even just dust and dirt can mess with their accuracy and reliability.
Ah, so if I stick one in my damp, dusty basement or maybe a really hot attic.
Yeah, you might run into issues. Really high humidity or extreme cold or heat can actually degrade the sensor performance over time.
Leading to?
False alarms, which are incredibly annoying. Or, much worse, a missed leak because the sensor isn't working right.
Yikes. So what's the fix? Just hope for the best?
Well, manufacturers are working on it. It means needing really robust designs, maybe better materials that can handle those conditions. But it also points to the need for, regular maintenance, maybe recalibration.
Which adds complexity and cost for the user, especially in those tricky locations like basements or crawl spaces.
Exactly. It's a balancing act for manufacturers, making them tough enough without making them too expensive or fiddly.
Okay, environmental sensitivity. What else? Power. Are they battery hogs?
That's another key challenge. A lot of them are battery-powered for easy installation,
Right. No wiring needed.
but that means batteries need replacing, which can be a pain, especially if they're in hard-to-reach places. It kind of undermines the set-it-and-forget-it appeal.
Mm-hmm. And more advanced features probably use more power.
Definitely. Features like constant connectivity or powering a shut-off valve, they draw more energy. So there's this ongoing push from manufacturers to optimize power consumption, make batteries last longer, make the whole thing more efficient and less hassle.
Okay. And one more thing springs to mind. Integration.
Yeah.
You mentioned it as a strength, but isn't getting different smart devices to talk to each other sometimes difficult?
Oh, absolutely. Compatibility or lack thereof is a major headache for consumers.
Right. Does my leak detector work with my smart hub, which works with my thermostat, but not my speakers?
Exactly that. Not all these systems play nicely together yet. It can lead to a lot of user frustration, a kind of fragmented smart home experience, and that can definitely slow down wider adoption. People want stuff that just works together easily.
Standardization is still a work in progress then.
Very much so. It's getting better, but it's a hurdle.
Okay, so challenges are there. Environmental toughness, power, compatibility. But despite that, the future outlook seems bright. What's next? What cool developments are coming down the pike?
Yeah, the future looks really interesting. We're going to see continuous improvement in the basics, better sensors, more reliable IoT connectivity. That's sort of the baseline.
Any specific examples of recent progress?
Well, the report mentions SwitchBot's new water leak detector launched in June 24. It offers the real-time alerts, but also integrates for that automatic shutoff capability. That's a good indicator of the trend, more function, more protection.
Okay, so better integration is definitely a focus, making them play nicer with other smart home gear.
Absolutely. That seamless user experience is critical. And on the connection side, think faster, more reliable tech. Maybe integrating 5G eventually, or advanced Bluetooth. Faster alerts mean faster response.
Which could be crucial in, say, a big industrial setting.
Precisely. Milliseconds could matter there.
And are they getting smaller, more efficient?
That's another big trend. Miniaturization, making the sensors smaller, less obtrusive. And alongside that, better power sources. Longer battery life, maybe energy harvesting, making them easier to deploy everywhere.
Okay, smaller, faster, better connected. What about intelligence? Is AI getting involved?
Now that's where it gets really exciting. The potential for AI is huge here.
How so?
Imagine systems that don't just detect leaks, but predict them.
Predict them. Based on what?
Based on analyzing historical data, current environmental conditions, water usage patterns, AI could potentially identify anomalies that suggest a pipe is about to fail or a fitting is degrading.
Wow. From reactive to proactive to
Yeah,
predictive.
exactly. That would be a massive leap. Making the systems truly proactive, flagging risks before anything actually breaks. That's kind of the holy grail, isn't it?
That would be incredible. Total game changer. And are we just talking homes and businesses here, or is the scope widening?
It's definitely widening. We expect to see much more expansion into bigger commercial spaces, complex industrial plants, and even municipal water infrastructure.
Cities using this tech to monitor their main water lines.
Potentially, yes. As water management becomes critical at every level, the applications for this kind of smart detection just keep growing.
What an amazing overview. We've really covered a lot of ground here, from the nightmare leak scenario
Yes.
to the really sophisticated tech trying to prevent it. We've looked at the market growth, the key players, the tech advantages.
And the challenges, too, the hurdles they still need to clear, like
Yeah.
environmental sensitivity and power.
Right. It's clear these smart water leak detectors are playing a crucial role, both in saving water and preventing costly damage.
Absolutely. And knowing about these trends, it's valuable stuff. Whether you're thinking about your own home or managing a business property, or you're just interested in where smart tech is making a real difference.
So let's leave our listeners with something to chew on. We've heard about the clear benefits, right? Damage prevention, water saving. But we also heard about the challenges: environmental factors, battery life, compatibility.
The balancing act.
Exactly. So the question for you is, how do you think manufacturers are going to strike that balance? How will they deliver that robust, reliable performance and make these things affordable and easy enough to use that they truly become standard, ubiquitous in basically every single building?